Hello guys and welcome back to the F1 Tube YouTube channel and welcome to my Mexican Grand Prix qualifying review. Once more in 2019 we had another absorbing qualifying session, but let's start off by having a look at the results, and it's Max Verstappen who takes his second career pole position. He heads Charles Leclerc and Sebastian Vettel with Lewis Hamilton P4, Alex Albon P5, Valtteri Bottas in P6. However, I don't think he will be starting in that position, but we'll come on to that later, with Carlos Sainz, Lando Norris, Daniil Kvyat and Pierre Gasly rounding out the top 10. And in the bottom half we have Sergio Perez, Nico Hülkenberg, Daniel Ricciardo, Kimi Raikkonen, Giovinazzi, Stroll, Magnussen, Grosjean, Russell and Kubica. Let's start off with our pole sitters and Max Verstappen. He is the master of Mexico City. There are no two ways about it. Every time he hits that track he storms to such brilliant pace, and this pole position is long overdue at Mexico City. Another top-class performance from Max. His teammate Alex Albon wasn't quite up to speed. I don't think it was an adequate session in my opinion from the Thai driver, but there is still a lot to gain from tomorrow's race, so I wouldn't give up on Albon's chances of a podium just yet. Next up, Ferrari, and they were very much favourites for pole position, but it never worked out that way. One, because the Red Bull car improved into qualifying, and secondly, Max Verstappen was right on it. Despite their dominance in Sector 1, the Ferrari car just doesn't have the grip to compete in Sectors 2 and Sectors 3. Charles Leclerc had a decent qualifying session. I'm not sure if he could have challenged for pole, but at the end of the day, it's a front row start. But he has to get ahead of Verstappen tomorrow off the start. That Ferrari chews its tyres so hard, so track position is going to be pivotal. Seb Vettel, qualifying has definitely not been his strong point in 2019. He has officially been out-qualified by Charles Leclerc in 2019, I believe. But same with his teammate, he has to get a good start tomorrow, otherwise his chances of a race win will be dwindling. Seb made a mistake on his first run and tried to rectify that in his second run, but I believe he was caught out by the double waved yellows, which we'll get onto now with Mercedes 4th and 6th. In the dying stages of Q3, Valtteri Bottas crashed heavily, basically coming out of the last corner. He got onto the power, his rear tyre clipped the wall, and that spat him straight into the barrier head on. You could hear on team radio he was breathing really heavily, and that can tell you the big impact that he did have. And to be honest, I think there may be a chassis change for him tomorrow. There may be a gearbox change, but it wouldn't surprise me if the Finnish driver had to take a grid penalty. He qualified P6 whilst Lewis Hamilton could only manage P4. He said he could have challenged the top 3, but I don't think that Mercedes car worked at a premium today, and he will have to use every bit of his potential to seal a 6th world title tomorrow. I'm going to try to keep it brief with the midfield. First off, McLaren. They did what they needed to do, be best of the rest after a valiant challenge from Toro Rosso. Carlos Sainz lines up P7, qualifies P7 with Lando Norris P8, so another strong day for McLaren in 2019. Toro Rosso have been really quick this weekend, and it's not surprising to see both cars in Q3. Daniil Kvyat P9 with Pierre Gasly P10. Gasly has reported today that he hasn't felt well, so maybe that may have cost him some pace, but from a team's perspective, it's been a great day for Toro Rosso. Sergio Perez fought very well to get into Q3, but he just fell short. A very good job by the Mexican. He will start on new tyres tomorrow. He will be starting on whatever tyres he wants, so I can see him scoring a point or two at his home event tomorrow. Lance Stroll knocked out in Q1 again, not good enough, nowhere near Checo's pace, and another disappointing qualifying day for Lance Stroll. Renault just didn't have enough pace to get into Q3, but like Perez, they will be starting on whatever tyres they want to. Hülkenberg P12, Danny Rick P13. Hülkenberg showing his worth again and showing me and the world of Formula 1 why he deserves a seat for 2020. I cannot stress it enough. But anyway, Renault do have very good opportunities tomorrow. Alpha, quite simply, have not fared well all weekend. They haven't had the pace, and it was not surprising to see both cars knocked out in Q2. Basically replicating their 2018 performance in Mexico City, it was another dismal qualifying session for Haas. Both drivers knocked out in Q1, K-Mag P17, Rogro P18. The car has no front downforce and it just doesn't have any pace at all. And Haas really are looking at 2020 and hoping for 2019 to end in the quickest way possible. Finally, Williams, George Russell was actually pretty close to Romain Grosjean, so a decent performance from the British driver, but Robert Kubica 1.3 seconds off of his teammate's quickest lap time. Kubica really has not been on the pace this season. You can say whatever you want about the car, but 1.3 seconds is too big of a gap. Going into tomorrow's Grand Prix, there is a threat of rain. I'm not sure if it will hit during the Grand Prix, but there is definitely a possibility of a wet race. So it's going to be very intriguing tomorrow to see how strategy will play out in both the prospect of a dry race and wet race, because of course there is high degradation around the Mexico City circuit, so teams may be forced into a two-stopper, and I absolutely love strategic battles. Obviously, I love on-track battles more, but if there's any element of fascination within the race, I'm sure it will be a thoroughly entertaining one. But guys, that is it for today's video. Please like this video, comment down below what you thought of the qualifying sessions, and please subscribe to the F1 Tube YouTube channel. But until next time guys, see you later.